Rightio, welcome to another Hoggout live, and the test match is going well. India can't bat 50 overs in the first innings so far this series. Have they got problems, or are they in a good position at Adelaide? Let's talk about that after a quick little break. Roll back. Well, how things changed very quickly in a test match. Last test match, Jaswell batted beautifully, and he was telling Mitchell Starc, "You're too slow, you're too slow." But today, Mitchell Starc was a little too quick and a little bit too cagey as well. Got him out first ball of the test match. But when you're opening the batting and the ball's moving around, things like this can happen. So don't worry too much, Indian fans, because we know what Jaswell can do in the second innings. But that was a beauty of a ball, and Jaswell was just moving a little bit too much as Mitchell Starc let go of the ball. But who are the other performers today for India? Let's just go through them, their batting lineup, how we thought they went. KL Rahul, he was sensational. Yes, he had a little bit of luck here and there, but the ball was moving around. He left it. He played late. Perfect test match batting. And you know that you've got a ball that's got your name on it. And he survived for 64 balls. And again, he had a little bit of luck, but he was playing within himself and he was playing to the conditions. And as I said last time, or about a week ago, he is the most valuable player in the Indian lineup because he's versatile. He bats in different positions and he can handle the pressure as well. Who have we got up next, please? AK, can you just flick it over to the next man that we've got on with a picture here? As I'm seeing Boomerang warm up, ready for the next session. Gill, 31, just came out when pressure was on. Mitchell Starc was alive and well and bowling the house down, but he was just comfortably driving him on a good length. Beautiful player, Gill. One of the best players to watch when he's on song. And then Virat Kohli, he's got his problems against the shorter ball just outside off stump. He doesn't know whether to leave it or not. And he's got a few headaches. Yes, he made 100 in the second innings in Perth, but the bowling attack was a little worn down and he was facing a few dibbly-dobs from Labuschagne. So Virat Kohli still a little bit worried and concerned about his form if I was an Indian fan. And the next batter that we've got on the list that we're just going to quickly talk about is Rishabh Pant. Had plenty of time, but just got a pearler of ball from Pat Cummins. Pat Cummins bowling within himself, and then all of a sudden, just a little quicker bouncer, rush Pant, got him out, and that is smart bowling. So any quick bowlers out there, you've got to have your quicker ball, you've got to have a ball that's just your stock pace, and then you've got to have your slower ball. If you've got those gears where you can bowl a quicker one, you can bamboozle the batsman just like Cummins did with Pant today. But he just looks as though he's got so much time, more time than any batsman around the world at the moment. And he just looks as though he's playing it with ease. And then we've got Rohit Sharma. Now, Rohit Sharma going down the order in this particular test match. Pink ball still moving a bit. And this is a problem that he's having with the opening the batting at the moment. He's getting caught on the crease. So, again, LBW. But not too concerned about the pink ball. I'd like to see him bat down the order with the red ball in the next test match because I think he can really find some form there. And then there's one other batsman that we want to talk about, isn't there, AK? Are you going to flick that over? Ravi Ashwin. His little cameo of 22 off 22 balls. This is where Mitchell Marsh was operating at this stage. And they probably should have gone with one of the main strike bowlers and really try to get him out a little earlier. But he was able to score a couple of easy boundaries off Mitchell Marsh. So tactical error there from Australia. And there's another batter. Let's flick it over quickly. And we've got Rana. Beautiful ball from Starc. Bowled, middle stump. Quick bowlers, if you're getting the ball to move, don't forget about the Yorker. When Mitchell Starc has been bowling full this particular test match, he's looked dangerous, especially when the ball's moving. You've got that good length, you've got a bouncer, but don't neglect the Yorker. And the next man out was, who was it? Was it Boomerang? Yes, Boomerang. Well, he just hung around for 8 balls, but he did enough damage just to allow Reddy to just make some important runs out the back end. And then finally, it was Reddy who got out. I really love this guy, taking it on, understanding the situation. So, or Siraj was not out for 4, and beautiful little clip off his leg stump. But I'm going to go back to Reddy. I like this kid. He's only got an average in first-class cricket of 21, but the way he's been able to handle himself in the last 2 test matches, batting with the tail, batting under pressure, he is someone who's going to be exciting to watch moving forward as well. And the thing is, he bats well and he can handle or bowl a few medium paces as well, very much like a Mitchell Marsh. That 42 off 54 balls has helped India to get to 180. Now, with the lights coming on and India are about to bowl, hopefully they've learned from this guy here, Mitchell Starc, 6 for 48. Bowled a little too wide in the first session or the first hour, the Australians. But when they started to attack the stumps a little bit more, that's when they created those wicket-taking opportunities. So Mitchell Starc did say on the commentary at some stage that they were too wide early on, should have been attacking the stumps, and they probably left a few wickets in the shed early. So India, again, could do what they did in Perth, learn from Australia, bowled fuller, attack the stumps, and put Australia under pressure tonight. But well bowled to Mitchell Starc. When he's on song and the ball's swinging, it is beautiful to watch. Well executed today. Just before we get our guest on right now, as I just said, there's a little bit in this wicket. There's some green patches on a good length or a fuller length just on the stumps, outside the stumps. If you can get it in that area where the odd one's just going straight and the odd one's nipping both ways, you're going to create these wicket-taking opportunities. Remember, Australia was 7 for 67, I think, out stumps on day 1 in the Perth Test match. I'm a little bit worried that this could happen right now tonight, especially with Boomer, Rana, and Siraj operating. Hopefully, Siraj doesn't go to what he said in a press conference, that he wants to bowl shorter with the new ball or with a pink ball. You've got to bowl fuller on this particular wicket and with that ball moving. And there's no breeze there in Adelaide at the moment. So what that means is that the ball will probably swing a lot more as well. And Mitchell Starc got it to swing the most of any pink ball test today. So it's game on. It's going to be an exciting session. So Revant, can we get Revant on, please, quickly? Special guest so that he can ask some questions. And while we're getting him on, Anupam, what's your message you give to Prithvi Shaw? Well, Prithvi Shaw's got to do a little bit of work on his fitness. He's got to think, right, I've got the talent, but I've wasted the talent over the last couple of years, and he's got to turn things around himself. Obviously, there are some issues. He got dropped from a Mumbai game as well, so some discipline issues there. And he's struggling at the moment, but it's all in the head. If you want it, you can go and get it. You've got the talent. You know what to do. You know how to do it, but you've just been a little bit lazy. Kim Mitchell or Mickle, how are you going? Mukesh rather. How are you, my friend? I'm going very well. And here we go. Sarah Trandra. Thoughts on Aussies bowling too slow, just 45 overs, and I think Harshit will be surprised. Yeah, I think Harshit Rana will be a surprise today. He's got pace, he's got that height, and I think he hits the seam or he's got good seam position, but he hits good areas as well. I just think in that Perth Test match, he was trying to bowl a little bit fuller as well. He read the conditions, and I think he's going to help Boomer tonight put Australia under pressure. But 45 overs, and we're out tea time, is just not good enough from the Australian bowlers. Even though wickets were falling around them, we've still got another 45 overs to try and get through today. So we could be seeing Pat Cummins, seeing that the Australians are find out the end of this Test match, a bit like England when Stokes complained to the umpires for slow over 8 down there in New Zealand. And the game was finished in 4 overs, 4 days as well. So a game finishing in 4 days and you're still getting fined for over 8 when wickets and things are happening, I don't like that by the ICC. They've got to get it right. You only get fined if you've played 5 days of Test cricket and you haven't finished your overs, for my liking. Ricky Ponting. Oh, Ricky, how are you going, mate? Good to see you taking a little break from your commentary and just coming on to Hoggout. Aussies will be 2 wickets down in 6 overs. Not much faith there from Ricky. They're about to enter the field. Yes, they are about to enter the field. I've got it down here. And sorry, Chandra, he's asked. Oh, okay. What are you doing?
Hi, Augie. I'm sorry the guest is not replying to my messages, but I've got his questions, and I'm gonna ask you the questions.
So, guys, this is AK behind the scenes that does all the graphics for me. Okay, let's get into it. Come on, let's have a bit of fun. Before you ask that question, Philip 007 and Austin Acuna, let's have a look out there what they've got. I have an issue with Glenn McGrath has around. I have an issue that Glenn McGrath has around 20 average and around 600 wickets after 125 Test matches. I know that Boomer is good, but comparing him with someone with 5 ICC trophies and 3 World Cups, that's a bit of an issue. Well, yeah, I see where you're coming with it, Philip. But at the present moment, the way that Boomer is bowling, he's definitely the best bowler in the world at the moment. But for me, you can't. It's really difficult to judge players and compare them from different eras. So for me, Glenn McGrath was one of the best in his era. He just kept it nice and tight, kept it nice and simple. Then you've got Dale Steyn, you've got Rabada, who've got probably some of the best strike rates going around in world cricket as well. Where do they sit in the thick of things? And I'm just looking at Boomer loosen up there, and it's probably the worst ball he's bowled for the series, but he's just trying to push it away from Khawaja there, just searching for Khawaja just to play away from his body. But it's going to be an interesting session here. Austin Acuna, hey, Hoggy, your thoughts on Nitish Reddy? Could be a game changer for India, in Australia and England in the coming year. Yes, I totally agree with you, Austin. He's got his opportunity. He keeps it nice and simple. And there are 2 shots through this Test series that I have seen him play that have been some of the best shots I have ever seen on the cricket field, and that is a straight drive back past the bowler. I remember Sunil Gavaskar playing a similar stroke against Dennis Lilly out the whacker, but it was more of a defence shot with timing. And Nitish Reddy today, the way that he just stroked it past the bowler today with absolute timing was beautiful. Actually, I'm going to go back up. Yep, no, that's fine. Okay. Bangladesh cricket unveiled. Hoggy, wafer here. Do you reckon Mahid Rana deserved IPL spot? Definitely. If his name's on the list, there'll be teams that do have an injury with an overseas quick going after him. He is really starting to come of age. Good stuff there, Wavy. Good to see you on board. Rightio. Come on, AK, get me into those questions. Sorry about that. Look at you typing away and doing it. Being able to do 2 things at once is sensational. As Boomer just.
All right, thank you. So these questions are from Revan Chiluka from Hyderabad.
Yep.
So this is the first question. Which players do you think will be pivotal in the second test and why? Are there any matchups you're particularly excited about?
The matchups I'm excited about is obviously Boomer with the top 4 batsmen of Australia. The thing is tonight for India to get through to really stamp their authority in this test match, they've got to get early wickets and they've got to get Travis Head out tonight. If Travis Head gets through tonight or doesn't have to bat tonight, then during the day tomorrow in Adelaide, which is his home ground, he might be able to take the game away from India here. So tonight, Boomer against the top 3 and Harshit Rana against the top 3 of India, Australia as well. If Rana can get the ball in the right areas and keep that pressure on, they're the matchups that I'm looking forward to in this particular phase of the test match tonight. And Boomer, I'm just watching him now. He's just going away from Khawaja. Khawaja better watch out for that fuller in swinging Yorker. It's about to come. What's the next question there?
So the
Okay.
next question is, with the second test being so crucial, how do you think the outcome of this match will shape the momentum for the rest of the series?
If Australia win, all of a sudden they'll get on a high going to Brisbane. They'll be very disappointed, or they are very disappointed about their showing in that first test match, and they want to rectify it. And the way that the bowlers bowled today, especially led by Cummins and Stark, Cummins was putting in more of an effort today. His pace was up. I just think they felt that they were embarrassed in Perth. So the bowlers have stood up. Now it's time for the batsmen. Can they stand up? And when I talk about the batsmen, it's Labuschagne and Steve Smith. Those two have got the problems. And we did a little segment with Labuschagne, didn't we, about his technical areas? Is that up on? That's up on social. So if you want to go and have a look at Labuschagne's technical flaws that I've discovered, or AK and I have discovered. Got to give you a bit of credit there too, AK. Check out a little synopsis with him. Is it on YouTube as well, on the shorts?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
So it's on YouTube. It's on Instagram. Whatever you want. Instagram, it's a little shorter video. Okay. Next question, but hang on. Next question.
So this is a question from my side. Do you think KL Rahul will be the next Pujara for India?
KL Rahul. I don't think I can class him as a Pujara. I think he's a player that's very versatile. He's able to play that stodgy game, that conservative game, try and wear the bowlers down. But then when the time comes and he's spent a bit of time out in the middle, he can take the game apart as well. So he can increase the strike rate. But he's not a part to increase the strike rate, or a Rohit Sharma, but or even a Virat Kohli. But he's still got that ability to up the ante, where Pujara probably struggled in that department.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you're in the office there at the headquarters in Pondicherry there. I love it over in Pondicherry. Can't wait to get over and see you in Pondicherry. But anyway, what's the next question?
My next question is, what does Rishabh Pant better play? The test match or the T20 matches?
I think he actually plays Test cricket better, because he sums up the conditions. And as I was talking about Rahul there, Pant can just play that defensive game, and when the ball's there and there's a loose one, he really punishes it. Whereas Rahul, if there's a loose ball there and he's in that defensive mode, he sometimes doesn't attack those loose balls where Pant does. So for me, Pant, with his versatility at Test cricket, I think he's probably better at Test cricket at the moment. But it's only a small little change up there. He's just dominant in all forms of the game. He's exciting to watch. Yeah. Someone giving you a bit of cheek there in the office, are they? Oh, hang on. Well, just before you go to the next one, JW's come on. JW, how are we going, mate? Do you think this surface is quite better than the one in the first test, with the lower order scoring runs more quickly? JW, I think the surface still is a little bit of a worry. There's enough there if you get the ball in the right areas. I thought the surface in Perth. I think the Adelaide Test match, the surface is a little bit better than the one in Perth, but it's still probably too sporting for Test cricket. We want to see Test cricket, especially a series between India and Australia, go into that fourth and fifth day. We don't want to be having Test matches where we're seeing 17 wickets or 10 to 17 wickets on the first day. We want to see batters sort of having a chance on that first day. And that's a big worry, because the other thing with it, and I heard a comment about it the other day, especially with administrators, is that if you lose a lot of wickets on that first day and then you come to the weekend for your third day on a Sunday, people might think that the game's over and done with. And it sort of might deter them from coming to watch that game on the third day. So good question there, JW. Good question. Okay. Well, how many more questions has Rivant sent you? Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute, AK.
Oh, right. I'm very sorry. So, right. How many wickets do you think Bumrah is going to take in this innings?
In this innings, the way he's bowling out the present moment, he's just trying to get the ball to swing, but he's setting the left-hander up beautifully. He's come over the wicket, getting the ball to swing away, looking to try and get one to swing back in, setting up Khawaja with that. But it wasn't working. He was getting too much swing away, wasn't able to get the right lines. And with that swing that he was getting over the wicket, if he got it on line with the stumps, it was pitching outside leg stump. So he's come around the wicket to try and get it away from Khawaja, which is a better line, because if he just gets it to tail away just outside off stump and there's a little nip back on these green surface, he's got a chance of getting the LBW. And also Khawaja's looking to leave the ball as well. So watch out for the straighter one. Oh, it's good test cricket. It's lively. I love it. These are good questions from Ravan. Pretty can't be on. Have you got one more from him?
Yes, I've got one more, and it's from my side.
Yeah.
Like what mindset and through what preparations do teams have to go through so that they can succeed in such high stake games?
Well, that's a good question, that one. Look, at the end of the day, you go through your preparation, and it goes back to that Labuschagne issue that we were talking about. You know, you've got to trust your technique. You've got to have your technique in place before you get to the game. If you're a bowler, you've got to have your game plans in place before you bowl to the batsman. And then you've got to go out and trust yourself to execute it. You've got to go with that unconscious mind rather than overthink it out in the middle. I think there's a footage of Glenn McGrath when he was coming out in the bowl and he was out his best. He was actually singing a song in his run-up. And he knew what he wanted to bowl, but he was trying to forget everything. So he was singing a song and just let it rip. And then, right, this has happened, assessed it, walking back to his mark. This is a ball I'm going to bowl. It's gone through his mind, and he didn't have to do anything apart from sing the song the next ball. That was his rhythm. With some batters, they sit there, watch the ball, watch the ball, watch the ball. That's their cue. Other batters were saying, look to get forward. I've got to get forward. I've got to get forward. And when you look to get forward as a batsman, that's at the point of release. The first point of release that the bowler's going to let it go is going to be the fuller ball. And as he comes through his action, then as the wheel goes around, then it becomes a shorter ball. So you're looking to get forward, and then all of a sudden you can react and get back to that shorter one. Whereas if you're looking for that shorter ball, your weight's on the back foot, and when they bowl full, the likes of Mitchell Starc pick up those easy LBWs. So, yeah, you've got to have your game plan in place. You've got to have your processes in place, your routine. So that's ball by ball routine. That could be, for me, it's just, right, that's the ball I've got to bowl. Then I'm out the top of the mark. I was just looking out the area that I wanted the ball to land. Other bowlers will look out the off stump. Other bowlers will look out the top of the bails. It's different for each individual, but you've got to find your cue and get yourself into rhythm out the end or out the start of every ball when it's coming in. So that's the way I'd go about it. Here we go. Philip 07, I have a question why Aussie is not being able to perform in T20 format after 2021. What is your analysis? For me, I don't think they've been, I think they haven't been prepared well enough for the last T20 World Cup. And when I was looking at their travel program and when they played the last game against India, I think it was, they had 2 day-night games and then they finished up with a day game, and they only had a day and a bit to get ready for it. I don't think they're willing to sacrifice enough to make sure that they get ready. I still think they might have been in that party mode and not got themselves a decent sleep the night before that game against India. So for me, it's all about preparation, and they weren't prepared for the first Test match as well. So good question there, Philip 07. Well, and Don't tell the Australian coach that I said that either. Otherwise, he might not talk to me again. Austin Dakuna, here we go. What have you got, Hoggy? Which one? Now, what are my memories of the 2007-8 series versus India? Do you have any insight into how the Aussies handled the Monkeygate issue and cheating allegations? I don't think there were any cheating allegations back then. I think it was more about the umpiring in that Sydney Test match, and I was batting at the other end with Andrew Simons. We had a good partnership there, and I don't think he hit any of those. What do you reckon, AK? Do you reckon he hit any of those? Do you remember the edges back in 2007 or 8? Or were you born then?
No, I was.
Yeah, no. Andrew Simons did hit, nick one that probably should have been out. But back in those days, some decisions went your way, others didn't go your way. And I can go through a lot of decisions that went against us in certain test matches as well. But I think when you're on your home soil, you do get a little bit more of the decisions going your way than what the visitors do. And I guess that's what's so good about DRS. It takes an element of that away. So that's what I like about DRS, but I still like that human error in there as well. So I'm a bit concerned about that. But look, going back to the 2007-2008 Test series, I remember playing in Adelaide. Now that we've got the Adelaide Test match here, and I reckon there was a period there where I probably bowled the best I've ever bowled in international cricket. And Virender Sehwag thought otherwise, and he pounded me to the boundary, left, right, and centre. And I went up to Adam Gilchrist after about 3 overs. I said, they're the best 18 balls I've probably ever bowled at this level. And they're probably the 18 best shots I've seen from a batsman playing me. He just hit me all over the park, Virender Sehwag. When he was on, he was on. Very hard to bowl to. So that's my memory of the Adelaide Test match. Virender Sehwag, thank you very much. Yeah. But the Monkeygate thing, I don't really want to go there. That's history now. It's been written on all the papers and everything like that. The main thing about that is the people that were involved in that all got together through the IPL. They played together in the IPL, and they were able to bury the hatchet and realise that we're all human. We love the game of cricket. And when we're out in the middle, yes, we are competitive. We have a go at each other. But when we get off the field, well, we've got to respect the game and respect each other and realise that we're all human and there's more to the game than just playing out in the middle and winning. It's about the friendships off the field as well. Good question there, Austin Dakuna. Really putting me under pressure, wanting me to get into the filth of the Monkeygate. I love it. Absolutely love it. There are questions that, if it's really pushing the boundaries and so forth, I will answer them. But when it comes to the Monkeygate and some of the people that are involved, that's one thing that I don't want to go to now, because there's one particular player that can't speak about it anymore. So, yeah, and we all know who that is. So thanks very much for joining us. Is there anything else, AK, that's come up around the traps? Or are we just going to finish the show right now? Yep, go for it.
Yeah, one last question. How do you think Nitish Reddy will flourish from here?
Well, so it's going to be an interesting flow there, because we've just got a question of Prithvi Shaw there. Prithvi Shaw got ahead of himself. He was picked when he probably wasn't fully fit. And I think if you look at the best teams around the world, they make you work for your position. They don't give you an easy ride. Nitish Rana has probably had a little bit of an easy ride coming in because he only averages 20, I think, in first-class cricket. You better check that. But I heard that in the commentary. But he's making the most of his opportunity. And watching him with the Sunrisers Hyderabad, he works hard at his game. I think there's a lot of potential there. There's a lot of upside. And he's worth the risk, because there's a lot of potential. And sometimes when you look at that potential, there's certain players with good attitude that you will take the risk on, and he's one of them. So, I think there's a lot of upside there. Austin D'Cunha, 2024 is the worst batting year in Test cricket in the last 75 years with batting average of 27. Do you think Test cricket batting has gotten tougher while white ball has gotten easier compared your era? Now, Austin, that is a really, really good question. I think players are playing Test cricket a little bit differently. But I think the white ball game plus the T20, especially T20 cricket, has taken away a defensive game at Test level from the batters because they're trying to get that power hitting into the game. So I think that is probably the main cause of the averages dropping in 2024. And it's very hard to go from a 2020 game and then go, right, I've got to play Test cricket. All of a sudden, I've got to be defensive. So, there are concerns in that particular scenario. But I think it's good for the game because wickets are falling and we're getting more results. But we want to see that average up around about 32, 33 at least. We don't want to see it in the mid-20s. So that's a very, very good summation there, Austin D'Cunha. And I think Virat Kohli, he's got to get his footwork into gear. Otherwise, you might have to get a new photo of a different player on your little widget there, Austin D'Cunha. I love Virat Kohli. He's one of my favourites, absolute favourites. Gentleman off the field, tough on the field. I love it. He's had a good career so far. Hopefully he finishes it well too. Any more questions coming in? Okay? No? They're all gone?
No.
No? It's
All
short
done.
one? Yep. Thanks very much, AK. 32 minutes. Look at that, short, sharp. We're done. All right.
That's right.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Now, if you want to get on as a guest, there's that Google page that you can fill out. There's a Google form that you can fill out. Love to get some of you on there. And Anupam, you might be able to get back on there at some stage as well, mate. Hope all's going with you. But thanks, everyone, for following us. And get back on and watch the Test match. There's so many Test matches going on. England versus New Zealand. South Africa playing Sri Lanka as well. South Africa, they might be able to get to the World Test Championship and play India this year. The way that they're going and the way that India are playing. But things can happen. All right, we'll catch you later. Thanks, AK. Let's close it down now. A little hog out.